So this is a once over on the Indian FTR R Carbon. Just been taking it out today from those lovely people at Indian Motorcycles in Kensington, London. Just been taking this out on the main roads, got it up to speed on the back roads, on the city streets. It is just an awesome machine. All the specs there. It's got everything you need. 17-inch wheels, Öhlins suspension, front and rear, upside down forks at the front, monoshock at the rear. You're perched on top, but it's a great riding position. You're not too heavy on the wrists as well. A little squeeze of the tank with your knees and just relieves that pressure. And the pickup on this thing is just immense. It's not sports bike pickup, but it's as good as you'll ever need it, especially for city streets. And because you got the wide bars as well, it's just perfect just to maneuver it as well. I say flicks right, flicks left, you know, and it's great on the pickup, really nice and really torquey as well. So you can be in top gear, in 6th gear, and it just picks up and goes. Fantastic. The gear spacing is nicely spaced, a little bit close at times. The clutch is just silky smooth and a little bit short at times as well, especially on the 1st gear. You've got to watch out, but nothing you can't overcome. It's just brilliant. I've got to say, I was a bit unsure about riding this bike and whether I'd like it and whether it was for me and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, it ticks all the boxes. It's just brilliant. I wouldn't say it's a touring bike, of course, and I wouldn't say it's a long distance bike, but certainly short hops, fun, hooligan fun, city riding, urban riding. It's just great. It's just got it all. This is the FTR R Carbon, so it's got all the bells and whistles. You can hook up your phone to it, you know, Bluetooth. It's got the sat nav from your phone that will just go on the TFT display there. LED lighting, you know, it's a 1203cc, what's that, 118 Newton meters, 123 horsepower, red lines at 6,000 RPM. And I got it at 6,000 RPM, and it pulls, it just wants to go and go and go. And I'm not telling you what speed I went, but it went fast, put it that way. I always thought this bike was great, and everybody I've spoken to who's owned one, who's ridden one, said you've got to ride it, and I've ridden it, and all I can say is great. This is the FTR R Carbon, so it's the top of the range, is what, nearly 17 grand in UK money. You can go for the FTR Sport, which I really liked. But actually, I was speaking to the guy at the dealership. He said, actually, just for the little bit more that you pay for this over the FTR Sport, you get the Öhlins suspension, which the FTR Sport doesn't give you. So it's probably a better buy if you can stretch to this than the FTR Sport. But any of these FTRs, I've got to say, the Rally, just the FTR, the Carbon, and also the Sport, all in all, great bikes, great ride, fantastic. So I'm not really into doing reviews, but I'll give you this once over. And I say it's probably not my style of bike, but it's definitely one I would ride, no problem, and have a lot of fun on it as well. I love this bike. I absolutely love it. You know, first impressions count for a lot, don't they? And when I got on this bike, I thought, oh, you're sitting on top of it a little bit. Oh, the pegs are a little bit back, because, you know, I've got my bike, which is a real cruiser, right? But you've got this bike, and as soon as you get on it and you start rolling, it feels right. I stood up on the pegs, got myself sorted out, you know, got my ergonomics sorted out, my body position sorted out, and it was just, once you got on it and started riding it, squeeze the tank with your knees, perfect, really, really nice. And it goes like stink as well, which is nice. So there you go, the Indian Motorcycle FTR R Carbon. It looks awesome. It looks great. It rides great. I sound like one of those YouTuber influencer type people. Hey, look, have a look at FTR, you should own it too. I think in this case, if you can stretch for it, it's not a bad shout. You know what I mean? What a bike, what a bike. Right, I've got to do a bit more riding on this. Catch you on the next video. Ta-da.